Hey everybody, happy Homebrew Wednesday. BHbrewing here, drinking on an IPA. So it is time to move over the IPA I did last week that had 8 ounces of hops in it, and I only got 3 3/4 gallons. But I'm going to move it over to secondary, and this is going to be kind of a 2-day process. I'm going to finish couple projects up tonight, and then I'll move it tomorrow. So this will be posted on Wednesday, but it's Tuesday night right now. Let me show you what I'm going to do here. So you get a flashlight. This is the keg that I'm going to be putting it in, and as you guys all know, those dip tubes on kegs go all the way to the bottom. Well, what I found is every time I move a beer over, it seems like the first 3 or 4 glasses at least are full of sediment, and they have a little bit of that stuff that settled to the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some length off of that dip tube so that it's in the beer itself and it's not in all that nasty mess and all that kind of junk that's in there. So I'm going to take it outside, and I'm going to use my little air grinder thing, or air saw, or whatever the hell you want to call it, and I'm going to cut a little bit of it off so that I can show you the difference. And let's go ahead and we'll move out there, and I'll show you how I'm cutting it. Okay, so before we go back outside and cut it, I wanted to make sure that I had the length, because I didn't want to cut it too short. So what I did is, here's the dip tube here. I took it out and I put a piece of painter's tape on it so it's not real sticky, and just to kind of measure out where I wanted it to go. Let me throw it back in here. And we'll drop it in. Let me get my flashlight. And let's see. If I can zoom down there. There you can see where the painter's tape is, and the way that I kind of measured it out and figured it, it's probably, I don't know, a 1/2 inch or so on the bottom that can leave sediment and all that. So that should help out with the first glass is pouring off, and I don't want all that junk in my glass anyway. So no different than all this junk settling right here in this carboy. So same kind of theory. So let's go cut it now. Okay, so I'm out in the garage. I'm going to go ahead and cut that dip tube. But I got one thing I wanted to do real quick. Let me put my safety glasses on. And this is for you, Jake CPU Nut. All I need are some tasty waves and a cool buzz, and I'll be fine. There's your Spicoli for you. Probably wasn't as good as you thought. I could probably do a regular Spicoli just talking. So let's get to it. Let's hook this baby up and get it cut. So should be able to see there. Okay, all done. I'll just file it up a little bit, and should be good. All right, dip tube is back in. I went ahead and I wanted to know how much beer is going to be in there when it starts to run out. So what I did is I dumped 2 pints of water in there, and let me zoom down to the bottom, and it is right on it at 2 pints. So that's exactly where I wanted it. That way I know that it's settling, and I'm only missing out on 2 pints, which if I have a bunch of trub and crap like that that's at the end, then that'll work out. So hopefully that will solve my problem of pulling all that extra stuff up, and I'll have clear beer pretty much right away. Let me give you another shot of the beer here that we're going to transfer tomorrow. Again, I only got like 3 3/4 gallons, and I'm sure once all the trubs off and all the yeast and the hops and all that, then I'm probably going to have about 3.5 gallons. But this is the hop sack that I'm going to use, and I'm going to stick 2 ounces of Cascaded in this that are leaf, and I'm going to put them inside the keg, and I'm going to tie them right to tie it right to the dip tube. And this is going to be my secondary, and then I will charge it in a week, and we'll see how it turns out. So I'm not going to move it tonight because I need to go get some more hose, because where that's sitting and where that's sitting there with my siphon, I want to make sure that I don't have any splashing, so I want it to reach all the way down to the bottom of it. And I'm going to do something a little bit different tomorrow as well to help make sure that I don't have any air in it. You can't see it because I got my grains on top of it, but I have a separate hose in there that I use for my beer gun. But what I will do is pull the keg over to there, and I'm going to fill the keg full of CO2 so that I don't have to worry about too much oxygen getting to it. And then I'm going to make sure that I'm as careful as can be moving it. And I really think this beer is going to turn out well. And if it does, I'm not going to worry about the hops and the bags sitting in there, because this beer will be gone fast. So I'll cut it short tonight. And sorry about that imitation there for you, Jake. I went back and watched the film, and that was freaking horrible. So I'll just talk normal for you, and I'll sound like Spicoli for you. So cheers. Let's see you tomorrow night on actual Homebrew Wednesday. Okay, day 2 now. We're going to transfer the beer today. I got stuff set up, so let's check it out. Here's the beer ready to go. My bucket with sanitizer in it, and my wand, and my hose, and then that's the hop sack that I'm going to use sitting on the side, which I'm going to put 2 ounces of Cascade in. And then here's the keg with the gas connection hooked up, and I'm going to flood the tank full of CO2. So I'll turn that on here, and then flood that tank full of it, and then we'll go over here and start putting the IPA into the tank. But I'm just gonna, the bag that's right there, I'm gonna wedge it against the dip tube in the side of the tank, and see if I can get it to stay in there, and then that way it'll be submerged and we'll be good to go. So let me get this set up and check it out. There we go. There are 2 ounces in there. Smell good. Alright, so I'm going to flood the tank now. You probably hear all that CO2 running in there. Since it's heavier in there, it'll just sit on the bottom. Okay, so transfer started, sealed up there, put down in here. There you can see the hop sack. I just wedged it in between the dip tube, and it's in there pretty solid, and it shouldn't move, and it shouldn't come back up and want to float. So you can see the beer there on the side, now starting to get into the sack, and it smells awesome. So I'll let most of this go down, and then I'll take a gravity and see what it is. Should be around almost, we'll see what the final is. It said on Beersmith it should end up being about 8.9%, so we'll see what happens. Okay, final gravity ended up being 10-12, so that was good. Nice color to it. And we'll go over here to the keg. And you see the sack down there, all covered up. So we'll let this sit for 7 days, and then we'll tap it and see how it tastes.